What's up, everyone? It's Forgotten Circus. Welcome back, and I do mean everyone. So, episode 2, House of the Dragon, season 2 dropped, and yet again, another banger. They just keep like one-upping themselves with this, how can you say, TV series, Game of Thrones. It's it's almost making you forget like that whole. Isn't that crazy? How they're doing this? That is absolutely insane. And from I know it's only been 2 episodes, but right now I'm on the fence. This is better than season 1. And that's hard to do with TV shows. But like, well, season 1, it's not as good. Oh, geez. All right. So I took notes. I always got to take notes while I'm watching these, so I stay on track. People, bear with me. So we start off with a banger opening. Um, the new needle thread. It's really, really growing on me. I like it. I like it makes it have its own thing. Like, it's Game of Thrones, but if they kept doing the same opening as Game of Thrones, after a while, I'd be like, yo, they kind of biting off it, but they got their own thing, the needle and thread, which is great. So we get to see, obviously from the last episode and from my last review. Oh, this spoiler review, people, I forgot to tell you. I do apologize. So, yeah. Um, we know what happened. Okay. So this is the first time when you see an Amon. And did anyone in that one scene in this show, my Amon was a little like, he's like super skinny. I know like Targaryens in the books and stuff and the art illustration, they're like skinny, but he didn't look healthy. But we get to see him like go up to, he's kind of playing like detective, which was pretty cool. He's like investigating. I really liked that it's a short scene, but he goes up the pathway where Blood and Cheese went, and he realizes like, oh wait, they were actually coming for me. Maybe if I would have been there and not get distracted by Otto, maybe Jaehaerys would still be alive. So you kind of saw that, and he saw the coin. So, and can we all agree that Aegon, for some odd reason, a little bit different in the books, he's a little bit smarter than everybody thinks. He's definitely a lot smarter. And he's definitely a lot more cunning. And I don't know, he matches the cutthroat from the books, but he just seems a lot smarter. And you can kind of, but he still has his Joffrey tendencies. So, and then like Otto, I understand what he's doing because there's a part in this. This is all in the beginning, so I'm following by my notes. He is like, even when everybody's grieving, they're like, yeah, we gotta do funeral preparations, everything. They trying to keep stuff private because obviously everybody knows, right? Everybody knows in King's Landing. Um, yeah, and even Otto then is like, bro, we got to do this. We got to do it. Can it, Otto, 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 can you please just shut up sometimes. Just shut up. Because you make people, sometimes with what you're doing, you make people do the opposite because they want to rebel by what you're saying. So at least hear people out. Oh, and if anybody's on Team Green, I'm going to get into that because I've seen a lot of people in the comments or whatever talking about, yeah, Team Green. Yeah, in this episode, they're not looking too good. And both sides don't look good, but one doesn't. It's just all over the place. So, yeah. And then and can we all agree that Alicent is a shitty mother? She's not a good mom. So this whole innocent with the Greens and Alicent and all and I'm not really hating on her, but the proof is in the pudding in the book and in the show. You're not that young innocent girl. You're just off having fun while people are getting unalived. She's just all over the place. She's not a good mother, dude. So, and then They do this funeral, and Helena kept telling, can people please listen to Helena? I wish Helena was on Team Black. I wish she would just ran off and like, hey, I'm gonna go hang out with Rhaenyra. You know what? This war probably would have never happened because people would have listened to her over on that side. Poor Helena. And then they were talking about, so they have the Black Council meeting, which is great. Which is great. I love this part because they were all talking about, they're blaming you, Rhaenyra, because that's the new propaganda in the kingdom. They're blaming Rhaenyra for what happened in Blood and Cheese, and Damon's just sitting there, just chilling back, like, yeah, man, that's absolutely crazy. Like, who would do something like that or something like that? You know, son for son. You said Amon, right? You said or Amon, right? Yeah. Why would they do that? And then they're just sitting there, and you get this feeling. And when Rhaenys, I love Rhaenys, man. I'm back on Rhaenys, man. Uh, she's sitting there talking to Rhaenyra, and Rhaenyra's like, I don't know what's going on. Why would I do that? Like, I wouldn't do that, you know? And then Rhaenyra's is just like, yeah, she's like, yeah, you wouldn't do that. And then she looks over at Damon, and Damon just sitting there like, just trying to get through this meeting. Just trying to get through this meeting. And Rainey looks over and like, you got something you want to say, Damon? And I knew everybody wanted to say it, but somebody had to start it. Damon's like, Damon is freaking hilarious. Matt Smith as Damon is incredible. That scene right there, even though the situation, this was kind of a weird, dark humor, comedic relief. And then all of a sudden she's like, yeah, and everybody's like, yeah, we know, yeah. So then you get the conversation. Cause Rhaenyra is like, bro, like, you're the love of my life, but are you? Are we doing just what are we doing here? What are we doing? You know? And then you can really tell that during the lovers quarrel, they do love each other, but it's one of those in a relationship. See, that's what I like about HBO and Game of Thrones, how they do. HBO in general, they bring real life situations into it. So Rhaenyra is calling him out like, yo, I don't trust you. Did you do it? And Damon's like, all right, you said a son for son. And she was like, no, you manipulated my words. Okay. I said a certain person. And this is very interesting. And then you can actually look at Damon. He's like, for the first time, like, bro, I messed up, but I didn't. Hear me out. I'm not that monster, because he says it too. You label me as a monster. So that whole thing right there, and then the moment when he flips the cups off and everything, you're like, oh, don't do it again, Damon. That was enough in the first season. We don't need to see this again, because that's not you. You didn't treat Lena like that. You know what I mean? You treat like the people you love. You don't do that. And you don't do that to anybody, any woman, regardless. I think that's one of the things they could have left out from the show, personally. And we all know Damon's Damon, but we can leave it off screen. But when he grabs her head and he's like, dude, I'm trying to actually tell you, just listen to me how it went down. Son for son, I was going after him. And I'm sorry that I left it for open interpretation on what. Because then Rhaenyra's like, then so you just said that and didn't think that anything else was going to happen, you know? And he's sitting there, it was a mistake. I left it too open for these people. I didn't know they were going to be that dumb. So basically he's like, all right. She's like, I can't trust you. I don't know. Do what you want to do. And then that part when they're talking, and Damon actually had a point. He's like, we can't be soft. This was a mistake. It happens. You know, we're at war. You think we're just going to shake hands? And then she calls it. Rhaenyra kind of calls him out a lot on it. Like, you're just mad because you didn't get what I have. And then he's like, I didn't really care about that. I just cared about my brother not doing certain things that should have been right. If I was there, I would have done it. So he just walked into her, not her trap, but the realism of what, yeah. And she says it too to him. She was like, yeah, I was given there. You just told me that my father just gave it to me because I was around him the most and everything. He didn't give it to you because you messed it up. And that's that right there. When she said that, it is a very good, valid point. If he would have not played the part, but been a little more lenient on how Viserys' rule was, and just calm the freak down because he was a firecracker then, he would have given you the throne. And you know that. And you're mad because you lost it. And she's kind of right. Daemon is one of my favorite characters. I will die on the hill with Daemon, Sir Arthur Dayne, a lot of people, the Red Viper, Oberyn Martell. But right here, she's right, Daemon. She's right. It could have been all fine and dandy. You could have still married me. We could have still, you never know. Viserys might have accepted you if for this weird marriage. He has Targaryens, you know how they do. Yeah. Viserys probably would have said, Daemon, yes, keep the bloodline pure. She messed it up. And she was like, I used to force myself to believe in you with stuff. Naturally, she loves Daemon because you can tell. But yeah, I went way too far on that conversation. Whoa, I am running behind on my notes. So, and then you get the hallway scene. Can we please, like, I know it's only 2 episodes in, but for the rest of the season, can we get a more connection? That's one thing you're failing on here. List of minus for me. I want to see the connection with Bella and Rhaena, with their father. This whole thing where he just passes by him, they stand by him, they never really talk to each other. You got one little glimpse in this when he's walking past because he's all pissed off, and he's like, she says, "Father," and he just looks back and goes, ugh. Like, come on, we got to do a little bit better than that. All right, he gave us a little glimpse. I'm pretty sure that they've caught on to it. Now they have to, if they're smart writers, they know that they forgot about that aspect of their relationship because those are his daughters from Lena. Lena, am I mixing up? Valerian. Yeah. Can we get a little bit more of that, HBO? I'm pretty sure you got it because from the first season, everybody's complaining about it. And you actually listen to your fans, which is cool. So, yeah. So, we got that. And then he just covers off. And then Rhaenyra says, hey, I need you to watch King's Landing. Fly high. Yeah. And she's like, okay. And my father? I don't know. He's doing his thing. Yeah. So, and I did like how she was like a boss to Jace too when he was like, yeah, I could fly there. She was like, nope. Hey, bro, we just lost your brother about like 3 weeks ago from flying to somewhere by themselves. Not going to happen. And Jace all mad. He's like, yeah, just listen to her. Just not a good look, Jace, on that one. So, yeah. And then did anybody notice that when Daemon was pulling in, we obviously know where he's going, Old Harrenhal in the Isle of Phases. I got the whole map. The whole map of Westeros. It's crazy. On my shirt. I wish I could show y'all. Can I show you? Yeah, it's got all of Westeros and stuff. So you can probably see some of stuff. I don't know. What's it? Westerlands stuff. But anyway, yeah. Enough showing my merch off. But okay. So yeah. And then we get into Daemon. He's just rolling out. She's like, he's gonna do what he does. And with that armor is so sick, bro. His armor is so sick. And when he hops down on Caraxes, the blood, whoa. And then obviously you're going to have to fleet with him. He's taking some people. They about to take Harrenhal. And I'll get into that too, because there's a point that other people know about Harrenhal. And I think that Rhaenyra and Corlys and all them, like, you go over there and handle that, and we all good. You want to be a conqueror, Damon, then be a conqueror. But whatever. I like Damon. I think he's right. Yeah. So, and then we get this whole thing with Sir Christmas Cole. He gets called out because, you know what? Amy calls everybody out. Like, where were you? Or Aegon, I'm sorry. Aegon calls him out. Like, where were you? Calling everybody out. There's a lot of call outs in this where they're like, yo, what did you do for me today? Or what did you do for me lately? So, yeah. So, did anybody notice Kristen Cole's receding hairline from a haircut? Who is his barber? Need to be fired. I mean, later on in the episode, it got a little bit better. It seemed like they caught it and they were like, well, we already filled the scenes. The scenes were perfect. But he had like this weird hairline going back, and it was like an instant cut throughout this whole thing, which was disturbing. And what is his name? Fabian Franco, whatever. Yeah, he's got some luscious locks. Like, what are we doing here? But it was just weird. It looked like they put a wig over top of his luscious locks. Didn't look right. It looked like they used Jace's wig from the season one. I just thought about that. What if they did and like fluffed it out a little bit? What if they did? That'd be that. Okay. Hey, you gotta cut costs somewhere because the show's amazing. So if you have to do that, and then we can like clown about that. That's fine. That's fine. I'll take it. I'll take that one. And then we had so and why's everybody always calling out the twins, the Cargill twins, to make them do stuff? They already going through stuff. They were born together. I feel bad for them guys. We get to see Adam and Alan of Hull and their relationship. They really do feel like brothers. And there's one part in there where like, yeah, but he owes you. And then Adam. Alan's the other one. Alan's the one from Raised by Wolves, right? Says, yeah, well, it's not a big thing. He's like, but he has riches and stuff. If we get in his favor, we are rich. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, but he owes you. He owes us. So now they're hinting at those are definitely Corlys's bastards. So they can be dragon riders. And you've seen Sea Smoke with Adam. Yeah, with Adam of Hull. So he definitely is vibing. So it's circling around him. It's going to choose him, which means Laenor is probably dead. But nobody cared about Laenor anyway, I guess. Even the show didn't. But that's cool. And then we got so Massaria, that scene with Massaria, Lady Misery, the White Worm, with Rhaenyra is like, yo, bro. Because Rhaenyra's girl bossing him. Girl bossing her. Like picking her apart with stuff like, oh, yeah, you would do this, you would do that. Yeah, where were you with this? Yeah. And Lady Massaria, with sad face, you all got set. I did. You are supposed to protect me, Diamond. Yeah, but anyway, no, the actress is pretty good, but the way and she scores a big thing here. So, yeah, and she's calling around and she's like, "Yeah, I'll grant it. I'll think about it." Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, you don't remember me, do you?" When she was talking about David, she was like, "Oh, that's the first boo." So we got this weird lovers quarrel now. That right there was like, and I think right there, Rhaenyra got kind of like jealous and reacted in a certain way. It's like, oh, you don't know who I am, huh? Just because you was his boo before, I'm his boo now. So she loves Damon. Put it that way, because that right there. But she is rational. Rhaenyra is, oh, she's so good. Emma Darcy is so good as Rhaenyra. She is more than the books to me. She is bringing so much more character. You can tell she read what Rhaenyra was, and she was like, I'm gonna put my spice on it. So good. Okay. And then, yeah, we got Sea Smoke shows up. And then, so remember when I said Aegon's kind of smart? He actually got his revenge, and kind of brutal. But yeah, so he got his revenge because he killed all the ratchet catchers. So he killed the two people that killed or unalived his heir. So technically, indirectly, he didn't know. He got both of them. But and then the way that cheese scene, or not cheese, the blood scene, that was crazy. Granted, they didn't show all of it, but that split second, you were like, he took a mace to his head, a mace. Yeah, and you got old Lord Varys. He knows what's going on. He knows everything. Lord Varys is the new Littlefinger, bro. Can't handle. He's the new Littlefinger, Peter Baelish. You know, because I would say he was like the eunuch. It's like, no, I shouldn't call him that, but you know, Peter Baelish, Littlefinger, and you had Varys, Lord Varys. He's like a mix between the two. He's like putting two of them together, which is awesome. And then we got so they get that, and then you got Otto goes ape shit when he sees that, bro. I've never seen Reese Ifans this mad in acting. It seemed like he was like tapping in. He must have had a bad day at work that day because he put it all in. I'll give him that, but you could kind of see it from Otto's side. He's like, dude, I've been trying to do this all peacefully, and I've been doing the connive and everything, but it still created peace. And I love Viserys, and I wish that I never had the idea about you. Because now he's looking at it like, damn, maybe I should have let Damon inherit it or let Rhaenyra inherit it because my grandson is a monster. And then he realized like everything's been, and they take the hand of the king from him. Well deserved, Otto. You started this mess. You were the upper tier of puppet masters. You started this, and this is what you got. You raise a monster, or you create a monster, you raise a monster, you get a monster. So, thought you had it all figured out, huh, Otto? See, this is why nobody should like Team Green. Look what I said about the other side. Yeah. And then Cole gets handed the king, and he's shook. That dude is, Sir Crispin Cole that dude is trash. He's trash, hot garbage. Put that dude in the dumpster. Recycle him. Get him out. Like that dude is so. You're another reason why people get unalived. Oh, I am of the Kingsguard. You are the shit. You don't. Do they have him in the book? Take him out the books. Jamie would look like a saint compared to you. So we got all so they're walking back, and obviously, old Crispin sends one of the Cargyle twins with a smart idea. Yeah, we're gonna send a twin over there, and even the one Eric was like, wait, Eric is the one on the Eric and Eric. The one twin was like, yo, you're gonna send me there by myself, right? Where were you when that happened? But you gonna send me by myself to go assassinate the queen that's heavily guarded, one man. And Cole's like, yep, just do it. What, you scared, bro? Come at me, bro. He's such a dude jock. This guy sucks. Yeah, so he sends him there. He goes there. And good old Lady Misery gets freed. Rhaenyra sits there and says, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. I feel bad because Rhaenyra's dope. She's awesome. Emma Darcy is awesome. Protect her at all costs. Says Lady Misery, Massaria. Yeah, I understand. Damon said the same things to me. I understand what you're going through. I just have a lot more power than you, then I can deal with him. Yeah, she's like, yeah, you can go. So Lady Misery's like, yep, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out, bitches. And then, for some odd reason, she just became the most important character in this episode, if not the whole season. She spots the other Cargyle. She may be actually one of the early season MVPs in running. And she's like, wait a second. He was just in there with me, but now he over here. Hold up. And that whole time with the Cargill twins, I think they were searching for each other. He knew he was popping in and out because when he runs in, when the Eric runs in and tries to kill Rhaenyra, assassinating Rhaenyra because Aegon had sent that. You know, you're going to kill, unalive my son. I'm going to unalive you. We're going to up the game here. And then we have no problem. But that fight was ridiculous between the two twins. And then what was it, Sir? Oh, I forget his name. Why? Because he's in the books. Whatever. But runs in and he's like, which one's which? And it's just like the books. But it was a lot cooler though, because for a little bit, Rhaenyra could actually tell which one was which. And she kept backing behind Eric, right? So I like that. They explained that a lot better. That was dope. So that was cool. And then it was a little bit different from the books too, because one of them just, all right, got the other one, right? I'm going to say they got the other one. And the other one got themselves because they felt like they failed the queen. Very emotional moment. That's another thing I like more than the books. It was explained a lot more. Yeah. And then Cargo Bowl could have been a lot longer, but I think it just hit right. So, yeah. And then they finally mentioned Daeron. Old Daeron. Like, hey, you do have another child out there, you know. Just saying. There is another child to the family of the Greens, Daeron Daring. Finally mentioned him, so we're going to get to see him. That's official. Said he's going to come and be able to help. I'm going to go over there and go talk to him, probably. Yep. And you should too. So we got Daeron. Very important character as well. And then Crispin and Allison are a piece of shit. Because that's how the episode ends off. Those pieces of shit. And everybody likes Team Green, right? We all understand Team Green. But these guys can't get their stuff together. On Team Black, you don't see anybody banging people's backs out right now. Because they know there's war. I mean, you did with Rhaenys and Corlys. I can't say that because, you know. But, you know, their husband and wife and, you know, maybe trying to create another heir or something like that, you know. But, yeah. Because they're married, they're together, and this holy woman of Alicent and this upstanding lives all the values of being the king's guard, which means you will bear no lands, have no wives. It's kind of like the Night Watch, you know. You basically don't do any of that stuff, and you're just going with. They're so hypocritical on that side, and it almost makes you think like, yeah. People should probably listen to Damon more. So, yeah. But anyway, so obviously, that's another thing I forgot. Rhaenys. So we all know. So when she said to Massaria, Rhaenyra was like a week, a month, who knows? Used to say the same thing to me. But obviously, everybody had something planned that Damon's going to take Harrenhal. You know? Yeah. And Corlys sitting there like. Talking to Rhaenys like, that means I don't have to go out and do anything because Daemon gonna go do it. Corlys like, yep, that's my homeboy, that's my dog. He unalived my brother because my brother was talking shit, but that's my real brother. Yo, Corlys ride or die for Daemon. Let's be honest. The two of them are beyond best friends. Even when he checked him and said, I will talk about my brother as I wish, you will not. And he didn't really talk about his brother either. But when his brother ran his mouth to his brother, you know, added to the chair, you know. But anyway, so I talked long enough. This is about to be a 30-minute episode. If y'all can make it through it, I appreciate it. If you can watch in waves, more power to you. You know, I really appreciate y'all. The channel's getting a lot bigger. My road is definitely going to be onto 100K by Christmas. I think I can do it. I just need all y'all just like, comment, and subscribe. Just hit the like button. And I want everyone to subscribe. and I do mean everyone.